Einstein once said, "We can't solve our problems with the same level of consciousness that created them." Question there is, how do you know what level of consciousness created your problems? The head of the Agape group actually created what he called the 4 levels of consciousness. I've often referred to them to the 4 levels or the 4 kingdoms of consciousness. The benefit of understanding these 4 kingdoms is that it allows you to understand exactly where you are in your spiritual journey, and likewise understand what level of consciousness may be responsible for the problems that you're experiencing, and then more specifically what needs to be done or what has to be let go of to allow you to move to the next kingdom. The 4 kingdoms are to me, by me, through me, and as me. So the first kingdom, quite simply, is the to me kingdom, which is life is happening to me. And it's often referred to as the victim complex or a state of victimization, right? I hate this relationship, but it's because, my husband's a jerk, or I'm in this job that's terribly unfulfilling, and if only I had a better boss, or if only they didn't work me so many hours. It's virtually every opportunity that people have to complain about their circumstances without taking ownership for any of their decisions that have them otherwise in those circumstances. And this concept of the to me complex, which is life is happening to me, is a disempowered state, and it will have you stuck. They also say that misery loves company, so those that are commonly stuck in the to me complex most comfortably surround themselves with others that are likewise stuck in that victimization. You can even see it operating sometimes at a community level or even a national level, like an entire nation can go into a victim complex. All said, to move beyond the victim complex or the to me complex, the first level of consciousness, one must give up blame, which is I can no longer blame the outside world, the people around me, or my circumstances for what's happening to me. And they start to shift their consciousness to say, there must be a better way to live. There must be a different state of empowerment that takes me from this state of being stuck into something better. After you've let go of blame and have properly started to transition out of the victim complex, you arrive at the second kingdom. And the second kingdom is the by me kingdom, or it can also be seen as the for me kingdom, which is this life is unfolding, but it's unfolding for me. These struggles, these challenges, these are all opportunities to grow. These are all opportunities for me to be in charge or the author of my own book, the captain of my own ship, the empowered soul that is genuinely driving this life forward. And if you move into that state of this is happening for me or even by me, you can even say all that is a byproduct of all the decisions that I have made. Where I am, the people that I associate with, my financial well-being, my physical well-being, my emotional, mental well-being, over and over and over, this is happening for me. This is all happening by me. And that state of grand empowerment, which is the most remarkable shift in consciousness from life is happening to me and I can't control it to life is happening by me and I'm fully empowered by it, is actually one of the most liberating moments that you can experience. It's one of responsibility, it's one of truth, and it's one of ownership. In an effort to then even evolve further, because when you're in that state of this is happening for me, right, when we have total ownership of our lives, we still oftentimes carry forth a degree of control, which is, okay, I am responsible, but I feel this need to control what's happening around me. And to evolve properly into the third kingdom requires letting go of just that. It's releasing control, which is I don't have to always have all the answers. I don't have to always know what's in my best interest. I don't have to, in many ways, be in control of that which is happening around me. I can simply be at peace and understand that there's a higher consciousness at play here, and ultimately move beyond the second kingdom and transition now into the third kingdom. So for those that have now evolved into the third kingdom, they're effectively experiencing the through me kingdom. And the concept of the through me kingdom, quite simply, is I have gifts and talents, and its connectedness with higher consciousness by which these gifts and talents can now flow right through me. And because you moved into a state of true ownership, where you're truly responsible for all of your actions, and you've now evolved beyond the need to control, you're now in alignment with the possibility that your gifts and talents can move right through you. And when that ends up happening, you go into this flow state. You find yourself in harmony with your environment, in greater peace and acceptance for all that's happening around you, and able to maximize your greatest intentionality for this incarnation. You see, oftentimes you'll hear about musicians, for example, who spent their life maybe reading music on a sheet, and then one day they were so in sync with the rhythm that they were able to just go ahead either and compose or just feel the music and it started to flow through them. Authors talk about it where after years and years of maybe writer's block or difficulty coming up with it, they were able to find their calling and they were able to move into that higher empowered state, and the words almost just started to appear on the page. You can even see it with an empowered politician who's just so remarkably comfortable in front of an audience, and this talent, this gift, this communication is all just flowing right through him. That third kingdom, as rare as it is a magical, magical space. And for those that are fortunate enough to arrive there, they will tell you that it's unmistakable. They never want to leave. That said, for those that are journeying even further, you can always move to the next kingdom, the ultimate fourth kingdom. But to get there, you have to give up any sense of individuality. And that's the ultimate sacrifice of the third kingdom. Even as you're experiencing these remarkable gifts and talents, you come to realize that you're not separate from consciousness. You're not separate from the people around you. You're not separate from anything. And in doing so, you now start to transition into the fourth kingdom. And now you've arrived at the final kingdom, the fourth kingdom, also known as the Asmi kingdom. When you find yourself in the fourth kingdom, it is a complete and utter connectedness to the divine. There's no separation between you and all that is. It is a state of perpetual bliss and harmony. Traditionally, it's been called nirvana, or sometimes, of course, you hear the term enlightenment. If you watch a lot of near-death experiences and people talk about leaving their body, and they talk about this unbelievable degree of love, connectedness, and compassion that they felt, that was a state, although requiring them to leave the physical body, that was a state of feeling that oneness or connectedness. The remarkable thing is that with enough intention in this life, we can actually get there without leaving the physical body. And when you're in that state of just profound beauty and connection, you become a grand inspiration for all those around you. And some of the most remarkable spiritual leaders over the years have consistently been able to radiate the love that comes from this fourth kingdom, the recognition that we are all one and all purely connected, and that the divine that we feel so oftentimes is outside is actually resident within all of us, and the compassion that we need for our fellow man is then an instinctive compassion because we're all part of a collective. So keep in mind that most people are going to spend their life trying to transition from the first to the second kingdom. So I invite you, take a moment, maybe take a day, take some time and think about it a little bit. What stage of consciousness do you find yourself at? Are you commonly playing the victim? Do you feel disempowered? Is life happening to you? Do you find yourself looking forward to even adversity or challenge and struggle, recognizing that this will be an opportunity for growth and that ultimately where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be based on the decisions that you've made to bring you there? Are you actively seeing gifts and talents that are so seamlessly flowing through you, looking forward to these grand talents that are so remarkably now available to you? So wherever you should find yourself on this journey, I simply ask you, are you ready to move forward? And if so, are you ready to give up that which must be sacrificed in order to do so? Love and light as always. Thanks for listening. I'm sure we'll talk to you again real soon.